Hey guys, Kaz here, and I'm just about to embark on a trip to Berlin, Germany. First of all, totally didn't even remember that the Euros was on. My brother reminded me a few days ago and I was like, oh yes. So the day we leave today and the day we come back, there's a game on, football, but I feel like England do really terrible in the Euros and we're normally the worst at football hooliganism, so hopefully we just don't get through and then everything will be chill. But yeah, other than that, I'm taking one book. I'm going to be taking A Million to One by Adiba Jagadar. I'm pretty much just about to put some sun cream on and then head out. So yeah, I will see you in a bit. So we are here at the Airbnb. Here's the front door. And then we go in here. It's the bedroom. Very nice. Shoes. Bathroom that's also a wet room. And then here's the kitchen, little table, the little mum, and the front room bit. And then here's another door, which goes out into the garden, which is really nice. I've had a little sit over there already. We've got our own little seat in here as well. So yeah. It's like 10 o'clock right now though, so we're not going to do anything else today. But tomorrow, go and do some fun things in Berlin. And here is the outside view, very nice. So it's the next day, pretty much we just ate and went to sleep last night because we got here at like 10 o'clock. So yeah, first order of business, get something to eat and then we'll figure stuff out. I've got a few different things that I want to do, but I haven't decided on days apart from tomorrow because I checked specifically the train times for tomorrow. So yeah, let's go eat some food and then do some stuff and enjoy Berlin. It's already really warm and it's only going to get warmer. We are back. My face is looking quite red actually. I think I need to put more sun cream on. I topped up once on the day, but yeah, I think I need some more. Anyway, yes, we headed out into Berlin, obviously, that's why we're here. First of all, we got some really nice food. This place called Bro Burgers, if I remember correctly. Basically, just got off the train, googled, give me something to eat now, place please, and then found that one. And it was really nice actually, so perfect. And it was literally right across the road from the East Side Gallery, which is cool because that was something that we wanted to do, wanted to go to. Obviously you'll be seeing clips throughout this, but yeah, the East Side Gallery is a big old chunk of the Berlin Wall and it's just got loads of cool art on and stuff. So yes, very much enjoyed looking at that. We had a wander down there. And then we headed to the museum, which is like the Deutschland Museum or something like that. But this is a really cool museum. It's like 4D experience. So you go in and like it tells the history of Germany, but it's like each section in history, the whole room, the whole experience, like it shows what's going on. So when you first go in there, the first room is like really dark. It's got trees in there. The floor is dirt floor because it's like back in the past when it was tribes around, runes, all that jazz. So it was really cool. And then it goes through like medieval, all the different kings and all the different flipping Christianity trying to wreck everybody's life. And then all the way through, as you would imagine. So yeah, it was a really cool museum. I really enjoyed all of the different rooms and stuff. I did see some reviews, like negative reviews before going, moaning about the World War II bit, because it's like not as immersive. In a way I thought it was anyway, but it's like not as immersive in a sense that the World War One room bit, like you're in the trenches, there's like screens with the bombs going off and stuff, and there's all the big bags of stuff chucked up the side, you know, like a trenches do, and like you're in there, it's all the bits and pieces. And then you walk into the World War II bit, and I did read their response to a few people saying that they, like, the way they wanted to portray it, they didn't want it to be like inside the trenches of World War II or in a concentration camp or in with Hitler. There was like, it's too raw, especially for obviously this country, Germany. It's part of their history, but it's not one that they want to be like, oh, now let's get in it. In like this museum, obviously other museums take you through in different ways. But I thought the World War II bit was really powerful actually, because like you go through the room and it's quite thin and long, and it's just like meandering like that, and the whole way down it's just quite dark, red walls, and there's just silhouettes of people with their arm raised, and there's just constant chants and marching sounds all the way through, to the point where as I was reading bits and pieces of the wall, I just started crying. I think it was like the sound immersion, it was just so in there that it just made me tear up a bit. And then right at the end of that section there was just a bit on the wall, and it was like the end credits of something going up. It was just constantly going up with all the different words, and it just told you how many people died from each country and how much it cost and stuff, and that made me cry even more, because it was like, oh, this country, 23 million people died, and it was like 17% of the population and stuff like that, and it was just so many countries and so many people died, and it was just like, yeah, it got me. But then after that it got a bit more fun. Like at one point you went into a house which was in like the 70s or 80s or something. Obviously at that point like the wall had come up as well, so it told you the differences between each side and stuff. And it's funny, when we walked in there my mum was like, oh, and now we're in Fallout, because it just felt like a house from Fallout. But yeah, it was actually really cool, and towards the end it was like you're in trains and talking about football and stuff, because Germany loves the football. But yeah, and after that we went to the Spy Espionage Museum, literally right next to this one, and that one was fun. There's loads of different fun things to do in there, like trying to crack different codes, and there was a lie detector bit, and there was like an infrared camera. There was like all sorts of fun things in there. At one point there's a little room off to the side where you have to try and go through lasers, like you put your hard, medium or easy, and you have to get through the lasers and put your hand on there within 2 minutes. Yeah, it was fun. We didn't read as much in that one, but there was loads of cool things to look at as well. Obviously it wasn't as immersive as the one we'd just been in, but there was loads of cool activities to do throughout, so good times. So yeah, now we're home, getting some food. I think I might just go in the shower just under some cold water. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but like I have Coca-Cola all over me, because like an idiot I put Coke in my water bottle and then shut the water bottle, and then when I opened the water bottle it went pfft. So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, now I'm just chilling. I'm not chilling, I'm fucking boiling. Yeah, cold shower it is, and then some food, definitely. Hey guys, we are back from today's outings. I didn't do a little clip at the beginning of the day, but that's fine. Yeah, we went to Peacock Island. It has a proper name, I'll put it up here, and it was really good. So it took quite a while to get there. We took 2 trains and a bus to get to the ferry, to get to the island. The ferry was literally like 30 seconds long, so that was fine. And yeah, it was just an island full of peacocks. There was also water buffaloes and other little birds and sheep, horses. There was loads of cool buildings. There was a bunch of stuff that looks like castles. I don't think they were all castles. The one castle literally looks like it's made from like cardboard or foam or something. It looks so weird, but it was made in like the 1700s. It looks modern and very bright white. I don't know if it's been restored recently or whatever, but it looks very like unrealistic as a castle, but it was really cool. And yeah, we went around, we just had a wander, we had some food. We had our first German sausage. The word is escaping me. I know it's called something, but I cannot remember. Got the word schnitzel in my head, and I know that's a different food. But yeah, we had that. Bratwurst, that's what they're called. I remembered as soon as I stopped filming. And when we was eating, there was this one peacock that was just wandering around trying to steal food, and then he did actually steal food. There was this guy and it took a big chunk out of his food, and then it was wandering around for a bit longer, and then went back to the same guy and literally took his whole cake off his little plate. So that was quite funny. And he just kept wandering around and just kept honking at the guy behind him because he like took it back off the peacock. So yeah, that was fun. And then a bit later on the island we went to the bit that had like the babies in. So we read this thing on the wall. Okay, have you quite finished? So I read this little plaque and it was like, oh yeah, the babies are kept in here. It told us like how they breed and stuff, and the babies are kept in there for a year because of the foxes. And we were like, because of the foxes? And then literally like 5 minutes later we saw some baby foxes. Oh my days, it was the best thing ever. I was walking past them, I saw them out on the corner of my eye, and I was like, Mom, slow down, stop. I swore at her, like in the best possible way, because I was like, look. And there was just these two baby foxes, and it was so cute. They were just existing. And we stood there and watched them for a while, and I loved it. But yeah, that was pretty much the day. It was a really fun time. We're back now. We came back a lot earlier than we have the past 2 days, which is good, because we can chill now, have some food, cup of tea, all that stuff. So yeah, been a really good day. Not even sure what we're going to do tomorrow. Haven't actually decided, so that's quite interesting. It's the next day, and yesterday I said we wasn't sure what we're going to do, but we are going to go to the zoo today, because planning on doing it tomorrow, but I had a look and they don't have a place to store your cases, so we're going to go today and then figure out what to do tomorrow. So yeah, just chilling, had a cup of tea, had some toast. Probably gonna have another drink and stuff, and then head on to the zoo. It's warm again today. It is warm already. At like 8 o'clock this morning, I'm boiling hot. So fingers crossed I don't get any redder. Reapply the sun cream often. Hey guys, it is several many hours since we got back from the zoo. To be fair, we got back pretty early, the most earliest we've been back the whole time we've been here, to be fair. So we had a little tiny look at a tiny look around our little local area, got some food. I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos just chilling, watched the new Garrett Watts video, love him. Anyway, the zoo, it was super good. First of all, the rain. It's rained a tiny little bit recently, but of course the day that we were out at the zoo it absolutely peed it down. Exhibit A. This is the day we chose to come to the zoo. It's really nice though. But yeah, honestly it's been so warm today again, even after the torrential downpour, got absolutely drenched. But then it got really warm again and pretty much dried off by the time I got home, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, the zoo, the Tierpark Zoo in Berlin is the biggest zoo in Europe, size-wise, which is really cool. There's a lot of space to just wander around. It's like in this big foresty area, so and just big parks and stuff. In the middle of a busy zoo, and there's randomly tranquility. Literally like 2 seconds after the beaten track. but the animal enclosures are big as well, which is cool. Obviously when we got there we were like, I hope it's not just open space for the people and the animals are in the little spaces. But quite often we would look into an enclosure and be like, oh, I can't see them, and then we'll walk all the way around to the other side and like it's the same enclosure and the animals are all at the other side. So that was really cool to see. Nice big open areas, a lot of them. And yeah, we had a great time. Some of my favourites, there was the maned wolf. I didn't take a video of him, but there's pictures. He was just doing his rounds. He was just like running about. That enclosure was big as well. There was a front bit, and then he went through a gate and he could go down and then back up and then through a gate, and then he was in a bit at the back, and he was just like all over the shop, and it was really cool and I really enjoyed him. There was this bird, I can't remember which bird it is, but he was really cute. It came right up to the fence and he was just chilling, and then after a while I had a little twig. I was picking up the little woodlice and putting it through the bar, and he was pecking it off, and it was really cute. So I was feeding the bird. You're not allowed to feed the animals, but like if it's a woodlouse that's just chilling there, surely that's fine. So he was another one of my favourites, and yeah, it was just really good. There was just so many cool animals. Loads of prairie dogs when you first walk in, so as soon as we got in there we were just stood watching them for ages. Lots of baby animals as well, perfect timing. There were loads of babies. There were baby birds, there were baby mammals, there were just babies galore everywhere, and it was amazing. I love the baby animals. Also the food place. So I feel like a lot of time at zoos, the restaurants there are pretty dire, to be fair. You'll get maybe a burger and chips or like a hot dog or whatever, but the restaurant at the Deer Park Zoo is like so fancy. You go in and then there's just like a whole shelf of all the salads you can get, a whole juice bar, a whole like all different foods, different type of foods, and you just, there's just prices above everything. And it's like a serve yourself thing, but there's like so much food, so many different varieties, really good quality, like proper food. I had chicken, roast potatoes and a little bit of sauce. There was a few tomatoes in there. It was really nice actually, and like the juice looked freshly squeezed as well. Oh, I've never had such like good quality food in a place like that before, so win. There was a cool bit that was inside. We got in there just after we'd got absolutely drenched in the rain. It was still raining, we saw a building, but we were already absolutely covered, which had like all the lizards and like warm animals that need the nice warm place. And in there, all the middle of it, you can go inside and then it's just all open. So there's all the different birds in there, and there's some bats up above, and you can just wander around, and it's just really cool and open, and like you can experience it all. So that was really good as well. And the lemur place, there was a little bit that was for lemurs, so you could go in there and then they were just all roaming about, and it was really cute because they saw us and they were like, and we sat down on the bench, and then they came over and they was having a little sniff. One of them licked my arm. It was really cute, so that was good. No. I'm scared. Why am I scared? He's licking your bag.
He's not going to let you, otherwise he won't be allowed.
He's licking your bag.
It can smell banana.
So yeah, all in all, had a really great time at the zoo, and now we don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. I said that yesterday, but then we went to the zoo. So now we actually don't know what we're going to do tomorrow. We're going to go into the main Berlin, because we're going to have our cases with us tomorrow's the last day, and either find a museum where you can put your cases in, have a wander around. We haven't really done any touristy like shopping for your little bits, you know. It's always nice to have a little something. We've not really done anything like that, so maybe we'll just have a little wander. I'm sure we'll go somewhere because the flight's really late, so yeah, figure that out with us. You'll see soon. Last day, we're just getting ready to leave. We've been up for a few hours, had a couple of cup of teas, some food, sorted everything out, and then we're gonna head out. We found a place we can store our cases at. Apparently there's loads in Berlin, which is always a bonus. And then yeah, we're gonna go do some stuff. Then we're gonna go see Checkpoint Charlie, go to the wall panoramic thing, and probably have a little shop because we've done none of that tourist stuff yet. We should probably buy at least a few souvenirs, so yeah. So I am back. I'm wearing a jumper as well. It's really exciting to be able to wear a jumper because it was warm there. But anyway, let's talk through the last day. So first of all, after we'd got ourselves together, we went into the main part of Berlin. What I did was I made sure we was around a place that could get to the airport easy enough, because Berlin is a really big city. One thing I did have on my list of things to look at, and which was luckily in a decent place for where we were going, was Checkpoint Charlie. Just before we got there was this random procession going past, and I've just googled it now, and it's a Hare Krishna festival thing that happens. It's called whaaaatt, probably not pronounced that way, but yeah, it was really cool. There was people on a big chariot thing, and everyone was chanting, and they were handing out fruit to people, and there was a massive group of people doing it, and it was really cool. One of the people on the chariot thing had a water pistol and was squirting everybody with water because it was a really warm, hot day. And yeah, it was just really cool to just see it randomly. I didn't know it was gonna happen. It was a very random thing, but yeah, apparently it is a big festival, so there we go.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
After seeing that and dropping off our luggage in a place, side note, oh my days, that was such a hassle trying to drop off the luggage, and you have to go on the website, and then I was trying to put my details in and it just wasn't taking it for ages. It was so annoying, but eventually we managed to do it, put our luggage somewhere, and went to see Checkpoint Charlie. This is a checkpoint that was very famous during the Cold War and the Berlin Wall and all that sort of stuff. It was like this point where the Americans on the one side and then the Soviets on the other. It was the crossing point in the Berlin Wall, and at one point they had tanks on either side looking at each other, but they didn't shoot, but they were like trying to big dick energy each other out of it. And yeah, it was really interesting walking around there, reading all about it. We did grab some food near there as well. I had some prawns that were really, really nice. I was meant to, I say meant to, I like decided that I was going to eat schnitzel because I already had bratwurst the other day, and I was going to have schnitzel as well because it's very German, but that was on the list of stuff you could eat, but the prawns looked too tasty to say no to, and I was correct, they were very nice. After that, super close by to the checkpoint is the wall panorama thing. It's like a massive building, and when you go in there's loads of, it's really cool because it's personal accounts of the wall, because up till then we've seen different bits and we've read like the actual like history of it, but it's really cool because there was just loads of different panels and it all had personal pictures that people had given the artist, and obviously like snippets of how they felt then, what happened, where they were, all that sort of stuff. So it's really cool to read like individual personal stories about it. And then there were a few films in there as well, and then you walked into this massive room and it was this massive installation, like life-size if you will, of the wall, and you could see on both sides of it, the east and the west, so you can see how much nicer one side is, and then it gets closer, and then the other side of the wall it looks very barren. And it was where, what was it called, like I can't remember exactly, like not Death Valley or something like that, like the space in between the wall and like another wall on the other side, where basically if anyone tries to get over there they'd just get killed. So yeah, it was very poignant, it was massive, you could go on this big viewing tower and look down and stuff. So yes, we went and looked at that. And then after that, very importantly, one of the things on my list, because we had the Berlin welcome card, was to go to the Lindt store, because you got 25% off a pick and mix thing. And let me tell you, we went to that Lindt store, we went that hard. The pick and mix, I did not know that many Lindt balls existed. This is my haul. I don't even know if you can tell because of the shininess of it, but I pretty much got one of every single thing in that massive place, except one that said champagne. I was like, I don't fancy one that's champagne flavoured. And there was like a little marzipan square, but other than that, absolutely smashed it. And then I wanted to grab some up for my sister, and we hadn't really been to any like touristy places or anywhere where you could just buy souvenirs and stuff. So I just got her some white chocolate that's Lindt, because that's going to be good. She loves white chocolate. and at the same time I just grabbed another bar. This is caramel and salt mousse Lindt bar. And then I went to the cashier and the guy was like, oh, if you get 3 of those tablets you get 10% off. So I was like, okay, I'll get another one. I also got a dark chocolate and strawberry one, which is also the mousse one, which looks really nice. Here's the strawberry one, here's the salted caramel one. So 25% off the bag of all the little pick and mix things, and then 10% off with these. And then it was like, oh, and if you sign up you get another like 15 or 20% off the whole order, and you just have to basically put your name and your email address. I was like, yes, I will sign up as well. So it's really cool because Lindt chocolate is amazing, and it's like got 3 different % off. So yes, I'm very happy about that. And yeah, pretty much from there it was just go to the airport, wait for a bit. Our flight was delayed, but luckily it wasn't even an hour. It was like 45 minutes, I think it was delayed, so it wasn't too bad. And then yeah, got home at like home at like 1:30 in the morning. Chilled out for a few hours because I couldn't just go back straight to sleep at that time, and then homeward bound, awake, alive, existing in England. But yeah, now there is only one thing left to do, other than for you to like do all the stuff like comment and subscribe and all that, but it's a vlog and I never know how to say that. So there's one thing to do, and that is to scratch off Germany from my list of places I've been. I'm probably not going to do all this on camera because it's hard. Bye!